Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. You are about to witness greatness. We have Ghost of Tsushima. That's right, you heard it here first. We are about to break down Ghost of Tsushima. And that's how we start the show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. It's the one and only Mad Gamer. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We're about to get into some fun stuff and enjoy ourselves. The live view of the reviews, some footage, and a deep breakdown into some of the gameplay aspects, as well as the overall experience of Ghost of Tsushima. So if you're watching now, thank you very much for tuning in. I expect you to not ask for spoilers, not to spoil this game for anyone in the comment section if you're watching this later. You're watching it live, and thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to try to keep the engagement at a minimum to be able to provide the best overall breakdown of this game and everything you can expect or not expect. Specifically not expect. I think this game is very beautiful, and we're going to get into some of the concepts and breakdowns of everything you'll be seeing overall. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Let's watch some more clips here as we go forward. So, I will not be spoiling this game. This game is releasing this week on the 17th. I will be specifically speaking about the gameplay, only showcasing gameplay aspects, breaking down what we know, what is beautiful and amazing about this game. So, tune in, rock with me, let's have some fun, let's dive deep as we go forward once again. So, to start off, right off the bat, is this game worth it? Well, from everything you're watching and you're witnessing, yes, it is. First of all, you pay $60 for a game, and what you expect is to enjoy yourself, get lost into a universe. When you're playing a single player game with a story-based concept, you want to get lost in the universe. So let's get into a little bit of story just to break down what we know that's already been out for trailers, and that's going to help you just understand what you're getting into. First of all, if you love samurais, swords play, this is the game for you, because this is a story specifically made about a samurai called Jin. And Jin's in the 1920s. Jin is in the I'm sorry. He's not in the 1920s. He is in 1274 specifically. And what he's facing is a giant invasion by the Mongol Empire. When they invaded, they basically tried to take over Japan. They were taking over throughout the land all over. And they had to come next to Japan. We can get into the map and the explanation of that in a minute. But basically, these guys had thousands of warriors. And they were coming to Japan. But they had to make a stop in an island that's also part of Japan called Tsushima. And that's where this game takes place. You're in a small island. And the original true story is that there were 80 samurai facing off against over 4,000 Mongol invaders. The way the story went, we won't get into the official real life story, but they take that and they bring it into a fantasy. In this fantasy, you play Jin, as you can see here. Jin was raised as a samurai. His job is to honor the code. But with this invasion and all that has happened, which we won't get into, he might have to change his game plan and have different strategies. Because the Mongol do not care one bit about strategies. They have guns, they have explosions, they're using all types of aspects. And the samurai fought with swords so that they can have a one-on-one face-off. So this is where Jin's story takes off, and we'll get into that another time, maybe this weekend when we play the game officially. But it was interesting to note that this story is true, but they have their own fantasy version, adding Jin's story to this and making it a very special game. All right. That being said, we're going to get into a couple of different things as far as gameplay. We're going to stick to the gameplay. You know what you're going to get into. It's a samurai game, as you can see here. A lot of combat, a lot of important things like samurai, but there's also the ninja style, which is called Ghost. And that right there is where you can stealth. You can use special tactics that aren't samurai based. And the game is deep as can be when it comes to gameplay. I talked to 5 people who've already beat this game, and all of the people have told me how much they respect the true story and the samurai in general just from this game, and how Sucker Punch has honored the Japanese tradition, culture, and overall experience as a samurai. And that is something that inspires me, because I love samurai and I love the code of honor, and I love the Japanese because they made the PlayStation and they got Kojima. You can't get mad at the Japanese when they have such amazing things in the world. But that being said, what we get is an honored code. They brought in a lot of people from the interviews that we've heard. They brought in a lot of people from Japan to help them keep the core essence of the experience in Japan. They actually went to Tsushima also. But there's a lot to get into about what this game offers, and we're gonna rewind and reset all of that in a second. But I just wanted to start off with that notion so you could know that you're getting a true Japanese experience with the samurai focused game. And overall, from everything everyone has told me, all of the gameplay we have, all of the footage we have, you talk about incredible respect for the samurai, Tsushima, Japanese, and the overall experience. We won't even get into the visuals because you can decide for yourself whether you think it's beautiful or not. That's not a question in this game. What I love about as far as visuals, you can see how everything moves in the world. The wind is blowing leaves, the grass is moving, every single aspect feels alive. And this is something that you got to pay attention to, because once you're in the game, you will be immersed in that experience. Okay, so can we get into combat? Can we break down what the combat is going to offer? This is very important, because this is why I'm here. I'm not here to spoil any stories. I'm not here to tell you guys to buy the game or not. That's not my job. Reviews can give you the scores, and we're going to break down some reviews in a little while, and we're going to talk with each other in a little bit. If you guys want to stick around for that, we can just engage in conversation. But for now, I just want to break a couple things down that I know for sure and that I really appreciate about this game, as we go forward so that you can see what's going down. So again, this is a swords game. You can go crazy and have regular combat, but there's two styles of play which open up a whole new experience depending on how you like to experience this game. And first and foremost, we'll talk about the samurai style, which is so key to this experience. And we're gonna actually jump and turn this footage off. I know y'all probably never seen this footage and that's what you want to see, but let's get into the samurai. And this is a PlayStation. This isn't exclusive footage anymore. This is PlayStation's footage explaining and breaking down the core essence of what the two different styles of play. So you're gonna see one footage of samurai and then one footage of the ghost, which is the ninja style of play. So in this clip, there's a mechanic where you can stand off against an enemy. And what happens here is if you are very precise, you can strike an enemy down with one blow in the samurai mode. And it's not just one enemy, it's multiple enemies within the combat. Then of course, if there's so many of them, you'll end up going into regular combat, swords play, doing different things to battle off these enemies. And that's samurai style formula. And what's interesting about this concept is that everything you do has a reward system as far as your resources. It's called resolve. And the better you do, the more you gain, but you utilize these tools to be able to take out enemies with special attacks and things like that. Like when you watch this right here, he'll use one of his resolves, but he'll get it back for the kill. So using your abilities as you go, it's going to play a big factor. And this is true combat. There's a lot of strategic aspects to what you're seeing here, from deflecting the bow to parrying and creating the opening for that one slice kill. This game has a focus on lethal precision. You're not going to be having to spam strike enemies, but at the same time you can also be vulnerable for one hit attacks. All right, and this is just a quick display of what they talked about and they explained a bit. I don't think people understand that there's two different sides to the gameplay, and that right there is what you saw, the original combat, which you've probably seen in many trailers, and we watched this trailer also, which was the state of play on May 14th. Now we're going to get into what I call the ninja style, but they're calling it Ghost, which is Ghost of Tsushima. But the Ghost style pretty much has stealth as his focus. He could have done the same thing he did earlier with the samurai, but instead he uses a decoy to distract an enemy, get behind him, and take him out. Now again, this is a whole different skill tree. We'll get into the skill tree and break down some of that in a minute with some footage. But as you see here, this right here is a key component, because now your gameplay changes drastically. Your choice of combat and style is yours to decide on how you want to take people out, stealthily or, you know, samurai style. So this is also a part of the story, because he was raised as a samurai. But fighting these guys, it's not easy, and there's so many of them. And it's hard to just stand one-on-one when there's multiple guys that won't play fair. They'll use explosives and guns and different weapons that Japan never seen at that time on 1274. So this is where the game takes off as far as story. I know it's gameplay that we're watching as he assassinates people, but it's also story based, because this affects Jin and his style, lifestyle, and honoring the code or not. Those are the interesting critical components of what I would tell you. You know, you're going to open up a whole new style of play, open up new skill trees, open up new abilities like these ninja stars right there, using fear to strike down an enemy without even touching him. That right there, these are small mechanics that are in the game that are going to be very dynamic and very expressive for you as a player, depending on how you play and what you do or don't do. Some enemies run away from you if you get that good. This is what I like the most. Just the variety of combat. You know, you don't want to play a game where you're always doing the same exact thing. This game allows you to just have a little fun with it, a little freedom, and enjoy the variety that it has. So those are some of the elements, and that's what we can expect as far as the key components of the gameplay. And there's a lot to break down with the gameplay. We probably shouldn't go into every single ounce. You are going to rewind here so that you can see more exclusive footage. So one thing I like is the jumping ability. You can do some dynamic strikes from your horse or in general, adding a little extra diversity in the combat. And one thing about this game, you're exploring different areas, and they honor the samurai and the Japanese cultures with shrines and temples and different places that you can explore anytime. And what's cool about it is exploring isn't just for a collectible. It actually upgrades your character's abilities, and you can unlock different things. And that's what I respect the most, because you want to be able to explore for a reason and a purpose and have a bigger, meaningful exploration. And as you can see here, the photo mode is so incredible. It's more about the environment is so incredible, and it'll make you want to take pictures. Just anywhere you go in the world, there's a picture you're going to want to take. Even me, who doesn't use photo mode as much, something so beautiful about everything that they do. And you got to respect that about them. Being able to really provide a beautiful universe with a lot going on. And what's really incredible is the side quests, aka the side missions. There's meaningfulness behind them. There's not just throwaway side missions. So you want to help other people and do different things, but everything plays a role within the universe. And I love that. And another thing you want to note here is again the resolve on the bottom left. That resolve, every time you use it, you're trying to use your special abilities, it takes away, but better you do and you execute, the more you get. And it's a resource for your abilities. So it's very important. Once again, the samurai mode here is a special mode. It might look like it's slow motion special effects. It's not. This is the actual game mode that's for you, the player, to decide if they want to engage in the samurai standoffs. But what is cool is that during boss battles, you will be in the samurai game mode style. This is just a mechanic in the game. That's a special feature, but it's highlighted when you fight these other enemies. So again, I really love everything about this game that we've seen and all the amazing things can look forward to. We're gonna continue to watch this gameplay footage here. Again, this is pure action here. This isn't a developer's footage. This is not everything's gonna be smooth and perfect, but we make the best of what we can. And this is a boss battle. One thing I like about the concept for boss battles is this is a samurai game. So having a true samurai standoff with the boss is only right in this game. So those are the type of things I love, and I want people to respect and understand that the game is doing a lot. The developers took a lot of time and care for so many different aspects. The visuals are beautiful, sure. A lot of the mechanics are just incredible as far as animations and mechanically right here, the standoffs, being able to show your lethal precision in one stroke. A sword isn't something to play with. Somebody gets sliced with a sword, it's game over. You can see that in this gameplay. But what's interesting is the player also is very vulnerable if he doesn't take care and be very careful. So this is the interesting part that I'm excited to see what players can do. Can a player play throughout the whole game? And this is the challenge I throw out to you if you are going to play this game. The challenge I throw out to you is, can you complete this whole game without ever getting struck? Forget about a speed run. I just want to see one player complete the whole game without ever getting hit. Maybe on my second playthrough I'll try, but it won't be easy. And this game has a lot of good surprises. And overall, it's going to be a good experience and a good universe to get into if you love samurai games. We are going to take questions and thoughts and comments in a minute. I just wanted to open up with some of the gameplay aspects and break down some of the key components as we go forward. Just to talk about some of the upgrades and abilities, you're unlocking a lot of these as you go, and it's not all just main missions. You can go throughout the world and build up your character to be very strong before you continue on to a main mission. So it's a little bit of both. You know, you do a main mission, you always get XP and you get points for that, but in this game you can also upgrade throughout the universe, just exploring. So, pretty cool concepts, pretty cool setups. As you can see here, this is a big battle. As a samurai, it is not easy to just face everybody head on. So personally, I'll be honest with you guys, when I play this live, when I stream it this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will 120% be playing stealthy as humanly possible. Even though that probably contradicts the story. As a samurai, you don't want to be dishonoring the code. But the code dishonored me when these guys invaded Tsushima to try to take over the lands. One thing I want to note about the real world story about this game, this might be spoilerish. The Mongols invaded twice. Alright? I'm not going to say what happened the first time or the second time, but they invaded twice. And what the Japan believed, and the Japanese believed, is that the divine wind is with them. And I'm sure this will be a part of the story, and we'll find out this weekend when we play through it together. The divine wind saved them. Divine wind is in favor of the Japanese. This is a belief system that they believe in, specifically because of what happened in this real invasion during 1274. Alright, 80 soldiers on Tsushima Island facing off against. So, alright, we're going to cut back to some of PlayStation's footage for a second here. Just want to talk about some of the visuals and the cutscenes that we've seen here that I consider very amazing. And as a matter of fact, if we can loop this in, I don't know if this thing lets me restart it. There we go. So folks, to break down some of the cutscenes, and the reason why this is important is because this is going to set the tone. This is going to help you see what you can get story-wise, right? Without us spoiling it. This is what the developers wanted us to see. This is not cut footage from the game. This is specifically trailers that the developers made. So I'm sure there's not big story spoilers here. But Jin survives the invasion and the destruction that is caused, and we see him, and the island thought he was dead. The island considered him dead. That's why he's considered a ghost in this game. And that whole story and that concept about him being a samurai is in question, because when he comes back, is he honoring the samurai code? Why has he become a ghost? Stealth play and back hiding in the night. These concepts do play a big role in the story, and they'll tell you deeper aspects that are important to the game and or the overall experience. Again, the Mongol invasion, these guys had thousands of soldiers. Tsushima barely had 80 samurai. And this is where we, as a people, gotta be excited for the story of Jin as he becomes the ghost of Tsushima. Anyway, there's so much to get into, so many different aspects to this game. I'm very excited about it, and I hope you guys are excited about it. We are going to get into a couple of other things in a little while as we go forward. If you look at, as far as reviews and different aspects, the scores on what we think is out there, we can get into exactly what the scoreboards are for every person that's reviewing this game and just break down all of it in detail. Definitely going to do that in a minute. As a matter of fact, gonna get interesting. Way they're going, I believe it's gonna be in the high 80s or mid 90s. So, what do you guys think? What are your scores for this game so far? From what you've seen, I know not everybody's played it. Get into it right now. Matter of fact, so out of 55 reviewers, folks, I can pull up the actual footage if that's what you guys want. 55 reviewers reviewed this game, and they've given it an 84. There's going to be definitely more critics out there that are going to review this game. But if we're going by Metacritics, which I don't necessarily trust critics' reviews, I always tell viewers to explore your own thoughts. Don't let anyone influence you. Even me, don't let me influence you. What I'm talking about is my excitement, my personal thoughts on this. My words are not cemented. If you don't like samurai games, sword games, and you want to play shooters, go right ahead. Feel free. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you do love samurai games, single player story, open world games, there's no way this game isn't in your radar. Right? So anyway, so this is some of the reviews that we're looking at. And Game Informer says Ghost of Tsushima captures the mystique, fury, and violence of all the great samurai films. Right? So that is, to me, Game Informer's really great. Kind of respect them out of most of the critics out there. There's so many critics. And again, I'm just interested to see what people say, depending on who they are. And I don't really care, because I'm going to play this game this weekend and share it with you guys. But what are your thoughts so far? What are your thoughts so far? That's the question. So is this any good? So first of all, don't allow. We just talked about some reviews. It's about an 84 overall on Metacritic. And that's from 55 different reviewers. Now you got to take one thing into consideration. Again, not every reviewer likes samurai games. Not every reviewer likes open world games. Not every reviewer likes hack and slash. You know, there's so many things to a reviewer reviewing a game that's important. Your taste is important. So if I was to say, "Hey, review my seafood," and we give it to 100 people, now there's one of the reviewers that hates seafood, and they go to review my seafood. Of course, they're not gonna like it. Of course, they'll probably give it a bad score. They never were into the game. Follow where I'm coming from. So the same thing goes for these reviews and these reviewers. It's all about their preference. Of course, some of these people are professionals, and their job is to review a product and not have their personal taste be a part of it. But sadly, there's no way to separate your personal taste, whether it's food or a video game. Okay? Personally, I love stealth games. So you give me a stealth game, I will find my enjoyment of it, or I'll say this stealth sucks. The AI is not good. The mechanics don't flow fluid that's how we can talk about it. But that's where the reason I'm bringing this up is because when you ask if this is a good game, my answer is always see for yourself. Watch a lot of gameplay. Check out some of the stories. See if it intrigues you. You know, when I watch, I'll give you an example. When I watched, what was it called? Life. It was just like a story game about a teenage girl. I did not find any interest in that game. Doesn't mean that it's a bad game, but for me, I would not play a teenage high school girl. Okay? It's just not something I'm interested in. And it doesn't mean it's a bad game, but why would I review a game that I'm not interested in? See, so same thing with this game here. When the reviews come in and everybody's trying to tell you what to like or not like about this game, you got to take into consideration what you like and what you appreciate. Somebody said looks like Tenshu and Sekiro. Yeah, definitely, and it does have a lot of Sekiro aspects to it. A little simplified on some things, and they did a different job with a lot of different mechanics compared to Sekiro. So yeah, you're gonna have a blend of a little bit of everything. I don't disagree with you on that. And again, that's a perfect example. If you like Sekiro and you like Tenshu, then sure, why not try this game? Give it a go. Now, for those that are saying I don't have the money to buy a bunch of games, I got to make sure this game is what I need, then go ahead, take a minute and watch a lot of gameplay. I wouldn't say watch reviews. Reviews will tell you one or the other. If I'm an Xbox fan and I'm hating on PlayStation, I could sit here right now and tell you, oh man, this game sucks. Look at these guys. There's not even like real thing. They're trying to make a dramatic cutscene. Like if it's a samurai movie, it's a video game. And I'll try to troll this part right here just to try to make it diminish it. Can't believe, look at this fake samurai movie style visuals in this video game. Man, they can't even sword fight. That's probably like your grandma on there. You know, like I can tell a fake story to try to defer you from this game if I'm an Xbox troll type person. And then now you're influenced to think this game is trying to. But if you're honest with yourself, you take a look, you're like, wow, this is ridiculous. Like, just visually, it does look like a movie somewhat, but it's gameplay. And the combat looks so fluid and so real. One thing that they did do, just to note, developers talked about, is swords fighting is too fast for the eye, for the player to react and things like that. So they slowed it down just a tiny bit, fractions, to be able to allow players to react and repair. So this is key components, and just look at these visuals. If you're into this, go spend your money and buy this game. If you're not into this, fine, go play a shooting game, right? That's what you want to do. I play a lot of shooters, so don't judge me. I'm not judging you. You play what you want. He says, yeah, man, I agree. I hear you, man. I hear you. Once again, this is really all about me expressing myself and my excitement for this game and showcasing some of the footage, but also some of the official trailers here. As you've seen, we're gonna get into more footage again, just so you guys can enjoy that for a second. Let's see. Here we go. So this is some more exclusive footage, not from the official trailers. But again, what I expressed to you guys is that not every game's for everybody. You want a samurai game, you want a sword, an open world, beautiful game with great combat, some stealth, some swords, samurai style. And here you are. You can have it. And I couldn't get into specifics on the details when it comes to specs. I would leave that for, what is it called? Digital Foundry. I'm sure that they have a review that they're putting out. As a matter of fact, we should look up their review, folks. I'm going to go into every single publisher's reviews and just sit down and see what they're saying about this game. It's important to note, that every opinion is just an opinion. Don't look at reviews as the final word for your games. We might go see the same movie and say that we don't like it. I don't like it. You like it. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. And all these reviews are pretty much exactly that. Just opinions. And you gotta appreciate some, but then sometimes you know that people are just in the wrong place. But yeah, the game's amazing. I'm gonna be playing on the original PlayStation 4, folks. So don't judge me. I'm not rich. It's the way people think I am. We're gonna be playing this off the PlayStation 4, the original old school PlayStation 4 that sounds like a plane. But I promise you the visuals will still look just as beautiful as you're watching right now. And again, a lot of this gameplay, this is not rehearsed developer gameplay, pro gameplay. This is player-based gameplay that you're watching. I still got the launch PlayStation 4. Yeah, me too. Actually, I was gonna buy a PlayStation 4 Pro, but then the PlayStation 5 started to pop its head out, and I said, there's no point in getting a Pro if my PlayStation 4 works fine. So, going for the 5. But back to the gameplay, okay? So what are we doing here? Is this game worth it? What do you feel? What do you feel? What does the audience feel about this? Please break it down to me while I tell you what I feel about this game. I feel like I'm gonna fall in love with samurais again. I've watched many samurai movies. There hasn't been many lately, and I just feel like we need more movies. And it would be cool if Sony said, let's make a movie out of Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima. What I love most about this game's overall is the freedom you get. I'm going to be exploring a lot, checking out shrines, temples, trying to see all of the side missions. I want to level up as much as possible. All of my abilities, all of my perks. I want to get them before I reach endgame and just completely be a powerhouse samurai and ninja. So, it should be interesting. What I love most when it comes to actual combat here is, if you watch carefully my dodging, if you watch carefully the parrying, animations are very fluid and realistic. You're not going to sit there and imaginary parry without the weight of the parry affecting you also. So everything has its effect and its importance. It's not just quick spam. So every strike can be meaningful and purposeful. You can have a lot of fun with this game when it comes to that. So I'm excited to see how it would work when it comes to battling as many as possible. There's going to come a point where I'm going to try to have 20 enemies chasing me so that I can take them all out. Just like this guy right here. Triple slice. Again, you can see little combat like that. There's just incredible stuff. And there's different stances, which is very important to note. The stances will affect everything. So you have the wind stance, you have stone. There's a whole mess of variety. There's the water stance. And each of these can be used for different enemies types. Somebody with a shield, you would probably use a water stance. You can take them out a lot faster. So the fluidity of these combat skills are very important. So that's what we got, guys. That's how we feel. That's what's going down. I'm over excited about this game, and I will be streaming it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I appreciate everybody for the love and support, whether you're following, subscribing, liking, sharing. All of it is meaningful. I want to take a moment to give props and respect to Sucker Punch. They have done something that I didn't think was possible. So this year, we got The Last of Us 2, and it was ridiculous. Regardless if you appreciate what happens in the story and you're mad about it, the gameplay is so incredible. The visuals are good. Overall experience is amazing. And I am baffled that I have any other game taking Game of the Year. And it feels like Ghost of Tsushima, since I'm a samurai fan, might take over for Game of the Year, as it is so incredible on all the different things that they've done put together. I'm curious about how y'all feel about that. What is your Game of the Year so far? Are you considering Cyberpunk, possibly Assassin's Creeds? There's still a lot of games to be surprising us, but as far as anticipation, I think this is the one for me. There's a lot of little silly things in this game you can do. He was in the shower, taking a little bath, but then also poetry. You'll be interested. That's all I got to say about it. You'll see what this poetry got to do with anything. We will see. But once again, I just wanted to note about that and stress the developers. Sucker Punch has always, and I mean always, been able to put out incredible games. So they have Sly, which is a very, very fun cartoon style game. And you get one of my favorites, one of the most underrated games, which was the Infamous series. These guys brought us a very fun experience. Infamous was a really good time. So that's where it is interesting, because they already gave us a lot of great series, and instead of going back to them to make some money, and just steal from the fans, how people would say, oh, they just, cash cow and quick cash grab. They did not decide to go back to their original sources. They said, let's create something new, innovative, and different, which is Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima. I keep saying Toe. Gotta stop. Tsushima. So there's a lot of different varieties. If you haven't caught all the stuff that is in these clips here, then you're missing out, because there's a lot within this game that you can see from the footage. I do hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you're enjoying everything you see so far. And if there's questions about gameplay, let's talk about it. I see some getting answered in the chat. This footage is supposed to be uploaded to YouTube, Facebook, and all the different sources a little later. You want to be able to make a stream, but also make a video for later. So your questions might not be read out loud, but they will be answered in some form or fashion. So you can take a second here and look at some of the actual key components here when it comes to visuals. Visuals are not just for looks, you know, it's just like, you know, a guy and a girl and being attracted to someone. It's cool, but what do they do? How good are they? She might look like the most beautifulest thing you've ever seen in your life, but does she have a good heart? Is she a smart woman? Does she have her mind right? All right, let's think about it. Is she beautiful? So the reason I bring this up is because you're looking at a variety of different armor. This is not just aesthetics. This is key components in gameplay. You have the Traveler outfit, which is basically more for traversing. But then you have, of course, Samurai Clan armor, which is the main armor for your combat for the most part. All of these different armors have different attributes that affect the gameplay and help you. Now the question, and we won't get too deep into this, but the question here is, how much does it matter to you? How skilled of a player are you to use specific armors at specific times? So imagine you're using the Traveler armor so you can unlock more of the map, so that you can use the guiding wind, so that you can feel the vibration on your controller when you find an artifact. All of these small details from the Traveler's attire can change your gameplay as you travel. But what the trick is, as you travel, there's a big gang who surprise attacks you. So now, instead of having your Samurai Clan armor on to battle them, you might end up getting caught up with less armor. So how skilled can you be is the question during the combat. And that's important to note because these small little details are very important. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out for a second. You see here is a variety of them, and we can actually take a second, look at some of them for a second. We're gonna go and switch so you guys can see the differences. All right. So your reload speed gets in when you're using the TAD. You're gonna be able to have faster reload. You're gonna be able to concentrate for more than 1 second. And your headshot restores 25% of your concentration meter. As you can see, each of these have unique aspects. So this is kind of the long range armor that you're going to put on if you want to try to use a bow and arrow. And again, there's just a lot of little elements in here. Charms are very important. This is a special mechanic for the game for you to boost yourself, kind of. So these are the aspects that are going to be key, and you just explore this game deeply, fall in love with the universe. And these charms are found anywhere out the world. You don't have to fight enemies to find them. You can use them for different aspects. And that's what's key here, is it your character changing your outfits is going to play a role, and you're going to have to do that within the game to make sure you're ready for a battle if you're going to fight. For example, he has a Samurai Clan outfit right now, fighting off some enemies instead of using the Traveler outfits. And there's a lot of them, a lot of different aesthetics depending on what you want, how you want to utilize them. It's what makes it special, and there's so much beautiful. My thoughts on the game so far. First and foremost, we're looking at reviews. We're looking at impressions and thoughts, and I haven't dove in deeper into it. Game is beautiful. Give me your guys' thoughts on what you feel also. We're looking at it together, we're talking about it together. This is a community based impressions concept of what we see for this game. Game does look beautiful. It does have a lot of great art. I don't disagree with that, and I like it so far. And the reviews from what we've seen from the Metacritics are in the 83s, 85s, or higher. Some people gave it a fewer hundred. Some of them gave it a 95. Some people gave it an 80. A couple people bombed it with lower numbers, mixed numbers. But overall, numbers are pretty high up there. As you can see, this grappling system very special. For those asking about the HDR support, I said earlier I don't know any specifics. You got to go to Digital Foundry for those type of breakdowns. We will break that down in the near future, but that's not where I'm at on my level of content until I become a big streamer and I can afford 4K, streaming devices and 4K TVs and PlayStation 5 and all of that good stuff. Somebody said that GameSpot gave it a 7 out of 10 because you can't cut through bamboo. Apparently a big deal. It might support, I would think it supports HDR, guys. I'm gonna honestly, without saying, and I don't want to talk out of my mouth, that's the one thing I don't like doing. I don't want to say anything I'm not sure of. I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing here, that this game has HDR enabled automatically. We will see. Somebody wants to look that up, come and help me out with my video. This is a footage that I'm going to upload later on the internet, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and all the places. We are streaming on multiple outlets, and we are grateful for you to be a part of what I'm doing here, and all your impressions are important. Somebody said can't cut bamboo is the new. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, I don't know, man. I honestly, I don't respect, and I just said that to you earlier, I don't respect reviewers sometimes. Not that they're bad, it's just people have weird tastes, People just have weird tastes. And some people don't like certain things, Getting mad that you can't cut bamboo sounds silly to me. Getting upset about water in a game. But we'll see. They gave Pokemon Sword a 9. Really? That is silly. All right, so I'm not here to bash. I don't want to bash these people who do the reviews. Let's be honest. It's all about preference. It's all about I like oranges. You like apples. He likes grapes. The other one likes peaches. It's okay. That's how I look at it. Hey, man, you like what you like. Not everybody's meant to like a samurai game, so it's fine. I personally love samurai movies. I love samurai. I practice martial arts a little bit. I'm not an expert and I don't do it for a living or anything like that, but I've practiced it and got my butt whipped, and very humbly appreciate all the masters who've taken the time to beat me up. I think they just purposely beat people up like me who come into the gym and, hey, I want to learn, and they just beat me to a pulp every day, hoping I give up, and they'll keep beating me up until I can't no more. And that's something that is a humbling experience, and what I believe martial arts and any type of fighting is. That humbleness makes you confident, because now you know what you can take. Now you know what you learn tactics from getting destroyed and demolished. I've dislocated my shoulder, I've messed up my leg, practicing mixed martial arts for years. And yes, this is an open world game, and this is a lot of different aspects to this game that we are getting into. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate everybody's comments. You guys are so helpful, and so I'm so grateful. Shout out to Death Stranding PS on the PC now. That's true. That's true. That is pretty cool. Paper Mario's out? I did not know that, but that's a whole different conversation, guys. And said, this is not a game, this is a state of mind. That's pretty dope. I like that. Great stuff right there. Still hard for this kind of game. Yeah, I mean, why not? Yeah, so that is the question. Are we going to play in the American formula, or are we going to go and jump into the Japanese translations? I don't know. We'll see. I'm having a hard time because I want to do the black and white cinematics, and I want to do the Japanese. But I might do my second playthrough with that, guys. I'm going to be streaming it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Basically, until I beat the game, I'm going to start playing on Thursday and not stop. Play 12-hour days until I finish the game. We'll see. I can't judge. And the argument about is it 60 frames per second or 30? I don't have the answers. Want to go to Digital Foundry for the testing on. And right now what you're watching is footage of footage. So this isn't the best visuals, the 1080, but coming off of my stream to you guys. So it's going to be a little bit of, but the game is really good. It's really good. If you're looking for a samurai style of play, everything we've seen is pure evidence that you will have a good time with this game. Now, if you're looking for one game and one game only, and it's a samurai game, this might just be the one for you. And I'm very excited. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're gonna try something real quick. How about this? Let's turn this off for a second. Look at my let's just look at the visuals. This has got nothing to do with it. We're not gonna go into the games themselves. I just want to show you guys this pretty sick PlayStation 4 theme that I really love. Somebody's asked if I'm doing a giveaway. I have not received any giveaways for this game. Normally companies will send me a giveaway, and I don't have one for this game yet. PlayStation hasn't contacted me about it. If they do, I will gladly post it up and share that with you guys and do a fun, easy giveaway. But at the moment, I don't have any. But this cinematic, this is a PlayStation theme, guys. Right? So it's like my PlayStation account, literally. All right, this is my PlayStation. You can add me and play with me. But just look at the visuals, man. And the game is so much beautiful. It's beautifuler than this. If beautifuler is beautifuler a word, can we confirm beautifuler is a word? I don't know. I'm gonna make it a word today. I'm gonna tweet the Ghost of Tsushima is beautifuler. That's what we're gonna do. The beautifuler. All right, anyways, let's get back to the game. All right, so I'm interested to see what you guys think and how you feel when you play it. Is there different difficulties? Yes, of course. So they made it very easy. It's kind of like the cinematic easy game mode, and the normal, which is the way they designed it, and then the extra hard is going to be a lot more. We got to get into that. Actually, we want to try to dive into how deep is the difficulty system? It's important for me because I don't need more difficulty as far as a spongy enemy. I want more difficulty, a more responsive enemy, a more tactical enemy, a more aggressive enemy, um, different things like that for difficulty. I don't consider difficulty a spongy enemy that's tough to kill. And for the background that I have that I showed you guys, it is a PlayStation exclusive. You can find it on Twitch, on Twitter. PlayStation, I think, released the code for it, if I'm not mistaken. I got sent the email with it, but I think they had it on Twitter. So if you go on Twitter, you can find it right now. This is a fine game to end the just generation. PlayStation 4, arguably one of the greatest consoles of all time. I'm not sure how y'all feel about that, but that's how I feel about it. Cyberpunk. Somebody wants to talk about Cyberpunk? I don't know about Cyberpunk, man. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Hold on a second, guys. Keep watching this. So, just to note, this game, somebody asked how long to beat it. About 30 to 50 hours it'll take. Just about. Shouldn't be too long, but you don't want it to be too short either. When you're playing open world games, you want it to be get lost in the open world. I personally never just rush through the main missions. When I play an open world game, I like doing side missions because first of all, you upgrade and you continue to collect better abilities the more you play the side missions. Then on top of it, if it's a good game, the side missions have deeper story elements. Let the legend come back to life. Yeah, different abilities for sure. I can agree with the bosses with extra phases. It's a pretty cool concept. Yeah, we'll see what happens with other games in the industry, but we're sticking to this one. A lot of good things that we can do, and this game definitely is pretty gorgeous. This is one of the biggest games that Sucker Punch has ever had in their life. So compared to, I don't know if you guys played Infamous. I'm gonna be playing it tomorrow and a little bit Thursday morning, just right before I play this game officially on stream. And Infamous is a pretty big world, and you got a lot to do out there, and you can go all over. But this game is bigger than that, so try to measure it through that. I keep it on the standard of the company, so Sucker Punch's games like Sly or Infamous. Infamous was a fun open world game, just a good experience, great mechanics and stuff like that. Shout out to Casey, one of my favorites, engaging with us here about this game. Sucker Punch, one of the biggest. We'll see if it is. How do you guys feel about all these visuals that you're watching and everything that you're getting so far from this game? Are you intrigued? Are you ready? Are you ready? It's going to be interesting to see what people's thoughts are about these games. For me personally, I'm excited and I'm thrilled. I'm ready, man. I am so ready. It's an original story with a new universe, samurai focused, beautiful environments. Just take your time, enjoy, and just kick back, you know? Its entertainment value is going to be high. Playability, the systems and controls, you're going to be introduced to them carefully, and you're going to carve your play style to how you want through all the new mechanics. There's a lot to learn in this game, but once you get a flow to it, you're going to really start enjoying it as you go. And there's a lot to be said about the overall experience for this game. I'm interested. So you got a lot of great games from PlayStation, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna put the icing on the cake here for the finale. So 30 to 50 hours is a good amount of time in my experience with a lot of games. Said Sucker Punch wasn't a huge game, but it was a lot of fun. I agree with that. Yeah, so you don't want to just big world, right? You don't want to just, it's annoying. It's stupid, to be honest with you guys. Some of these games are like so big, but there's just not much to do in them. But with this game, just like the Infamous series, I'm sure it's going to be a packed world, a lot of cool little things, as you see here, taking a little tub rest. This reminds me of Death Stranding, where you're in the tub. There's a lot of small side missions you can get into and just help out people who are getting attacked and things like that, rescuing people and doing different things that are going to help you drastically upgrade your abilities and your skills overall. So you want to do these things. And everybody's welcome here. Thank you guys. I don't say hello too much because I have a lot of different channels open. We're on Twitter right now, live. We're on Twitch, live, YouTube, Facebook. You name the streaming outlet, and I am on it. I am on it, and I am on it. So if I don't say hello to you, it's not because I'm ignoring you, but I do try to read the comments and reply to them without failing. So thank you for tuning in and sticking with me. So yeah, so this game is going to provide stuff, and this is a key component here that I talked about earlier with the crafting ability. Let's go back into state of play. This is a end game of state of play. We need to go back into some of the gameplay here, which is more important. Back and forth. So once again, these are our key components about the type of armor and the gear and the setups you have. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but it's important. Let's take a quick second and look at some of the gameplay here. I want to watch a little bit of the trailers. All right, so when we remember what they talked about story-wise and what they gave us story-wise, is we're about to take this girl out. Instead of killing her, she's working with you now. She's trying to find a monk, and then things happen, and it gets interesting as we go. But this is a real key component of just some of the gameplay that you can experience. You have a companion who's supporting you a little bit, doing some stealth play there, and you're trying to get in and you're trying to save this monk with this person. You guys are both chasing him. You might have different agendas, but you're working together given the fact that these invaders are trying to take over your island, and it's up to you to be a good samurai soldier and do the right thing. So this is a really cool concepts. Climbing up to rooftops with your grapple hook, jumping down and doing stealth gameplay. Now you can go guns blazing and crazy and really make it special if you want to. This game allows that. Or you can be a smart, stealthy guy and take your time and do it right. Right? Those are choices. Incredible choices to make. So we'll see what happens as far as players' choices. I wonder what y'all gonna do, how y'all gonna play. Of course, this is a cinematic from the developers that you're watching right now. This one clip that you see here. Reason I put it on is because there's a story dynamic to it. You're here to save this monk. Trying to get the monk out. The lady helped you get there. Then it gets interesting. Because she wants him dead. So now this is where story arcs and concepts and things like that are going to be interesting, guys. All right, imagine you were fighting with someone alongside, they helped you get in, then they want to take out the person you're trying to save. And of course, we see one of the best mechanics in the game. In my opinion, this might not look like a mechanic, but it is. It's called standoff, aka the samurai code of honor, to face your opponent head on, looking them in the eye. This is what Jin was trained to do as a child. Not to backstab people, to fight with honor. As you can see here, the reason this is important because this is gameplay, right? And this standoff is gameplay. They took off all the UI so that the visuals can be more stunning, but this is gameplay. This is what you're gonna expect from this game, not just the hack and slash and fun exploration of a samurai world, but these very cinematic boss battles. And it has a great story arc to it also. So those are the things that I would say to look for and to think about when you check this game out. You could do that and you could thank me later. So again, does this game allow you to choose to kill her or not? I don't think so. I think they have a story arc and a concept that they're trying to provide you. And then in the long run, you do what you please. How do you guys feel about this right here? Just this concept in general. I personally love it. It's going to be a fun time to do these samurai standoffs with other enemies and to go forward. We're going to stick to the official footage for a second. We already saw a lot of the exclusive footage, but I want to stick to this right now. We're going to watch new exclusive footage in a second. And we're going to watch the PlayStation 4 Pro version. As a matter of fact, let's just cut straight to it, guys. All right, let's not play around. Forget about that. Take a good look. This is a stealth mission, and this is spoiler heavy, so do not watch the subtitles if you don't want a story spoiler. There's gonna be some spoilers in this. It's gonna be very small but significant, and I can fast forward through this if you don't want to see any cutscenes. It's not nothing special to start off with, but check this out right here. A nice little stealth mission where you're sneaking around a small town that's been invaded and controlled by these invaders. And they're holding these people hostage, killing off people, just savagery. They're butchering people throughout the game, and you're sitting here trying to stealth your way somewhere special. You're gonna find your sword, because as a samurai, your sword is a part of you. You live and die with your sword. It's very important components to the game. You can see here, once again, this is just a stealth concept. A little bit of everything in this game, mixture. How do y'all feel about this? Hope y'all don't mind the small cutscenes. I'll cut through them again and fast forward, so you won't have to witness that. But we're just taking impressions on these aspects. It's a big open world. Imagine getting caught. What would happen to you? What type of fight will you have to do? What are you gonna do in this battle if they caught you? Now, That is a question. I'm a stealth player, so this will be easy for me for the most part. Um, Rooftops are always good. I'm starting to think maybe I love stealth games because of ninjas. I used to like the Ninja Turtles and things like that. Key components here, just stuff for you to learn throughout the game on the traversal, getting supplies, all of this stuff is important. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the commercials, folks. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this next part to be thoroughly surprised on what happens at the end of this sequence and the climax of the situation as you try to recover your sword. Don't want to raise any alarms, and you want to try to be as stealthy as possible. There are some missions that are going to have this as a focus. Not everything in the game's all about stealth. You have the freedom. It's an open world game. But are aspects just to train you on how to be a stealth player. Somebody like me, I love it. And here we go. Jin getting his pride and joy. This is a part of who he is. This is a very key component. And we want to skip this for a second. Apologies, folks. I'm going to skip it just so you can learn how to be a samurai. Again, tutorials, this is a good display of what you can expect. They're not going to just throw you in the middle of an open world game and let you figure it out. You have to go through these small tutorial parts, but they're story based. As you can see here, his trainer's teaching him how to be a samurai, how to quick strike, how to break the defense with triangle by staggering your opponents, and things like this. That's going to help you overall in your gameplay when you do get into the real deal in the open world. Right? So this is early on in the game, but again, this is footage from PlayStation themselves. How do y'all feel about this? What do you think about it? Do you appreciate this overall view? Or should I not be showcasing these key components? That is the question you must ask yourself, Daniel's son. And I'm going to take a quick pause here because there's advertisements as usual. Unfortunately. But anyway, so those are some of the concepts, and we're going to keep on showcasing more as we move forward and continue to just give you everything we got as far as the gameplay goes, some of the mechanics, and things you can expect from it. How do we feel about watching the beginning parts of this game? Would that be something you guys are interested in? I'm going to gladly showcase it to you right now. This is going to be exclusive footage. Might be a little spoiler heavy, but I personally think it's okay. I don't know what y'all think. All right, so this next part is the start of the game, and we're gonna jump right into it. And I'm actually gonna allow the footage to speak for itself, if that's okay with you guys. If you don't want to watch anything spoilerish from the start of the game, I would suggest you leave now and don't come back for another 10 minutes to be exact. It's not really spoiler heavy. It's just the start of the game, what you can expect, and the setting of the game. Ready? Set. Here we go.
Brutal. Relentless. Unstoppable. We are 80 samurai against an army, fighting to slow the invasion. Today, I die for my people. There must be thousands of them. We will face death and defend our home. Tradition, courage, honor. They are what make us. We are the warriors of Tsushima. We are samurai! Nobadachi, go break their spirits. Hey!
Outsiders! Send your finest warrior to face me! Nada, Jinnida. I am Harunobu Adachi, descendant of the legendary Yoshinobu Adachi.
So many. We have to keep pushing, Lord Sakai. Even if it costs us our lives. As you command, Lord Shimura. Men! We must hunt down the Mongol leader! Everyone! With me!
More Mongol dogs! Cut them down! Mongol reinforcements!
We're all that's left.
There is only one path for us. Find the Mongol leader and end him here.
I'll fight beside you to the end.
I know. The Mongol leader. I'm ready, Uncle. We end this together.
Uncle.
All right, we're gonna stop right there. Stop hammer time. That was crazy, right? Tell me that wasn't crazy. If that isn't enough to excite you and ignite you, then I don't know what is, folks. All right, that's literally the first couple minutes of the game. Spoilerish. I usually don't do spoilers, but I felt like we already seen this in the trailer. All of that, for the most part, was seen in the trailer, and the developers didn't exactly, offer something new. I mean, offer non-spoilers. It was pretty spoiler heavy on the trailers, and I felt like that part I might as well display it a little bit to show you guys exactly what they're doing. But anyway, that's my look. And again, the story might not be some plot twist Metal Gear style craziness or some really drastic The Last of Us style, but it is pretty damn good. And we're going to take a pause here and just stay at this menu just to talk about it. Because, again, the game is just really good. And you're not going to have a crazy story where you're getting all of this so-called, plot twist and craziness. It's a samurai game. That should be the focus, and it shouldn't be anything less, in my opinion. I don't know how y'all feel. I don't need it to be a plot twist where, like, you're in the Matrix and you turn into the one, and now you got to save the world again from the real samurai fight on Earth, and you're in Mars right now, or something crazy ridiculous. That's not what we're getting here. And we're getting a true samurai story, realistic, grounded, worldly style, not all this mystical nonsense. So I don't know how y'all feel about that. I just wanted to take a second to pause the visuals to show you a couple clips, and we're gonna go into some of these clips here as we go. But that's something I like. I'm excited for, and I think they did a good job with. I don't know how y'all feel about it. The opening visuals and concepts is going to be interesting. And again, you're getting a grounded game. You're not going to get this false fantasy of mystical powers and crazy beings. I love that about this. And I think we're going to be very excited when we get this type of game where it's just pure, simplicity in a complex world. And I'm excited for it. All right, so let's get into the last parts. I think I showcased everything I wanted to show y'all. I hope, and I hope y'all appreciate it, and you're not mad at me about that last part. But it's some more gameplay. So imagine that's how the game starts, and that's what you got to go through, and then from there you take off, and you're in this open world, and you're in this whole environment, and it's gonna be a lot to take in. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a lot of battles to be won in your island, and it's gonna be a very cool concept. This invasion that happened in real life was devastating for the Japanese people, and they won luckily. Possibly, if you know the real history, you can read it in the books of how they won, and it was a pretty powerful concept for how they won. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you over there on the mobile, as well as Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. We appreciate you out there. We're just doing this live coverage of the reviews and thoughts and impressions, and breaking down some of what people are saying, but also trying to see what the game overall is offering for everybody. So a lot of what I'm seeing from the reviews is people who give it high scores are pretty much saying overall it's a masterful experience, fascinating combat. The navigating mechanics are special, unique, and the visuals are stunning. What they're saying, and one of the best PlayStation 4 games. Some of the things that people are saying on their reviews, and those who don't like it, that give it a very low score, are not exactly giving real key components to why they don't like it. One person saying the story's too simple. It's a samurai story. Well, yeah, and that's what do you expect from the samurai story? You want them to turn into the Matrix, Neo, and fly to the sky and do something outrageous. That's not what you're gonna get. Samurai stories about honor, integrity. These sword fights, fighting for their people, for their land, for their honor. Those are the type of things you should be expecting. I saw you. See you, lazy. We're doing a live commentary here, which is going to be uploaded on YouTube and Facebook and all the other places. So we kind of keep it a little breezy. How y'all feeling about this so far? Are you guys into what I've been talking about so far? And I'm breaking down some of what people are saying. And one of the main pillars of the story is that, oh, this is too much of a samurai story. I'm not sure what you wanted from it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a samurai story, and it's grounded onto real life situations. I love that about this. But anyways, back to some of the gameplay aspects, what would people say negative about gameplay? We already did all the positives. We're excited. We love it. But what can we say? Um, is it similar to other games? Sure, but it has its own unique styles. You can see the rolling, the dodging system. It's not a regular dodge. I actually like this dodge because it's a very realistic dodge where he rolls to the floor and creates space, which is interesting. A lot of little things like that that I'm interested to see how I feel when I play the full game and finish it on the weekend. I'm excited. I hope these Sucker Punch guys stop playing around and they hit me back up. I know Sony needs to hit me back up also. Somebody need to tell Sony, like, love me like I love you, Sony. But back to the core essence here. One of my favorite mechanics is this samurai standoff style. One slicing enemies if you know how to be precise with the strikes. Very powerful. Just want to take a second to watch, and we should actually look at some of the trailers. How do y'all feel about watching official trailer? Because we got some really cool aspects overall. Let me play some music in the background, guys. Almost forgot about my music. Music. Anyway, so that's what you get, man. That's what we got. A lot of beautiful reviews. I'm interested to see what the fans will say. There's been a lot of bombing for reviews. It's a weird thing that the fans are doing lately. I know it's like, you know, fanboys trying to degrade a game or something, but what's the point? You know? Anyway. Once again, pretty cool. And I'm taking a second. The reason I'm taking a second here is I'm reading through some of the reviews to see what they're saying. I should probably just display them all from Metacritic. Over 83 reviews in so far. And the game is still getting strong reviews. I'm looking at the negative ones and I'm interested to see what they got to say. I don't see a lot of different stuff. Someone said it replicates Assassin's Creed style open world games in the 13th century of samurai. I don't know about that. I gotta play the whole thing. Criticism of it being like Assassin's Creed is weird because Assassin's Creed is one of the most originators of the open world experience for melee type of games, and it's a good staple to be compared to, you know. So I don't know if that's a good criticism, you know. It said the open world is bloated. How is it bloated? Somebody help me out here. Whoever's in the chat live on the stream right now, please be a commentary. What type of people are these? Telegraph reviewer from that company, whoever they are. That's a stupid thing to say. I don't get it. Again, all of the bad reviewers are talking about Assassin's Creed. And I'm not sure what they know, but Assassin's Creed is one of the greatest of all time. Greatest series of open world games of all time. Someone else said that it's a great game, the atmosphere and the sharp combat, but it's weighed down by his genre. Really? That's silly. It's a samurai open world game. What is... Alright, apologies guys, I'm getting on the negative side. I'm just trying to understand these people on these reviews. I can't comprehend. Over 75 gave it over an 84 overall, and then there's 9 people who's the ones that I just read out loud to you guys that just don't have brains. I'm interested to see what they talking about, man. So the game is too much like Assassin's Creed, they say. That's not a bad thing. I think Assassin's Creed has some great open world aspects. A lot of historical landmarks, a lot of like fun little adventures on the side or situations as far as open world. Combat is pretty deep in Assassin's Creed games. Hopefully this game has that and more. It's unique. It's gameplay. They do things here that Assassin's Creed hasn't done and probably won't ever do. Like the cinematic standoffs are incredible, in my opinion. The things like that are just unique for this game. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting, guys. We're gonna have a lot of fun on Thursday. I wish 2 days could go by. How do you sleep for 2 days? Is it possible to just dream? Can somebody show me? How do I sleep for 2 days, guys? Let me know. But so those are some of the reviews. I've read the negative ones out loud just now, kind of reading through them and talking at the same time. But that was what they said. I don't agree and I don't disagree. Comparing a game to Assassin's Creed is fine because it does have the same open world, you know, ancient times type of feel. But this game is a lot different in a lot of ways, and it feels really unique. And I like Assassin's Creed games. So you're not disrespecting me when you compare me to somebody great. It's like trying to compare silly games, you know, consoles to, for example, let's say the Sega Genesis, one of the greatest consoles, or the Super Nintendo. Comparing that to something minor that some random person put out, like Soldier Boy has his own console, and it's not comparable. You know? And it is, but if you put the Sega Genesis against the Nintendo, then you're talking, wow, okay. And somebody in the chat is saying the game's rubbish, and this is perfect timing that you say that in the chat. Please do express your feelings. There's nothing wrong with not liking samurai games or open world games or liking great visuals in games. There's nothing wrong with thinking combat is too fluid and thinking it looks so amazing to be able to do the standoffs and slash somebody, you know, going through these beautiful environments. If you don't like that stuff, it's okay. You can say it and we can move forward into why, and then we can go there from there and talk about it. You know, all of these aspects that you're watching is pure evidence on why you should think, you know what, this game's incredible. And if you don't, that's fine too. You know, you have your opinion. And the idea of it looks like Assassin's Creed. Here we go. So, okay, back to this topic of Assassin's Creed. So, sure, you're in an open world game. You traverse through the open world just like Assassin's Creed game, just like most games, right? Open world. You're a samurai, which Assassin's Creed has never done a samurai game. Well, I'm lying. They had that one Assassin's Creed game, which was like a spin-off, and it was a small game. It wasn't a full game. They haven't done a full game. They did one of the 20 Assassin's Creed games. Stop saying it's amazing. This guy's hilarious. Hey man, it's fine if you don't appreciate it. Nobody's judging you. But people who do, they let them appreciate it. Let them enjoy it. Don't bully them into feeling like they shouldn't express how they feel. Assassin's Creed's amazing, guys. I play all the Assassin's Creed games. I love the Assassin's Creed series. So comparing this to Assassin's Creed makes it a compliment because they have a lot of good features. Now, I'm not saying Assassin's Creed is the greatest. There's a lot of great games out there. But some aspects are cool. I do think this game does some things better. Visually, you can see here, it might be the most beautiful game. Compared to Assassin's Creed, I think this game is way more beautiful. As far as the cinematic experience when it comes to the boss battles, aka the standoffs, whenever you want to stand off against somebody, that's going to be interesting. We'll see. We will see on Friday after you guys play it or you play it with me. So we'll go from there. But it's all about preference, okay? If you're not a samurai player, you don't like samurai, just play something else. You know? It's really your choice. We're free to experience what we want. For example, for me this year, one of my favorite games, we're going to pause this footage. I'm going to be a hot mess here and showcase my PlayStation. As you can see here, I have a lot of games. Right? Ghost of Tsushima is one. Assassin's Creed, as you can see, I love that a lot. What were we doing? Oh, okay, yeah. So for me, this year, this game right here is one of the best games in the world. All right? Dreams is one of the best games ever for this year. And that is compared to The Last of Us 2, which is a good game. But I love Dreams better than The Last of Us 2. Now, The Last of Us 2 I love. I really enjoyed it. But Dreams is so incredible because they make so many great games. And speaking of that, we're going to go into it for a second so I can show you guys something. It's important that you stick around for this because this is about Ghost of Tsushima. Alright, we're going to watch some Ghost of Tsushima footage here. And we're going to see a player, the way that for those that don't know, Dreams is a game where you can create games, cinematics, music, all inside of this universe. Alright. So I am going to type in Ghost of Tsushima. See what pops up. Here it is right here. Why is this important? You'll see. Again, this is a person just making this on their own as a tribute to Ghost of Tsushima. They created the trailer again. And we did just watch this trailer not so long ago. Again, simple stuff, but just incredible. A player can even make this. And we're going to watch scene 2. And again, this is all player made in this game. This is why I say this game is so great. There it is. Just some quick footage, all right, of Ghost of Tsushima through the game Dreams. So that was a player who made every single cent of that specific clip. You gotta respect that. Gotta respect that. Hope y'all appreciate that and enjoy that. I know I do. I love it. I love it. So yeah, so I don't know how y'all feel, man. I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel really good about this game. I'm very excited. Hope you guys all come out this weekend. Mad Gamer INC. For those that don't have that on your stream, wherever you are watching, right there on the bottom of the screen. And I'll type it in as well, just so you guys can know what we doing, baby. All right, so we spent 2 hours breaking this game down. Got to watch some footage. You got to see some story. Everything is done. Like, what else can I give you? What more can you ask for? There's nothing left for me to say to you. Hope you appreciated it and enjoyed it as much as I did. And we are going to say farewell soon. So leave your comments, your thoughts. Right now, let's share a couple minutes just talking back and forth. Even though I know I said this was supposed to be a commentary. I'm going to end it by saying, you know, I got to thank Sucker Punch. You know, it's so inspirational when I watch these developers, studios, decide to make a new type of game. Reason why that's important is because they could have easily done another Infamous game and made some money. They could have easily done a slide game and made some money. Instead, they challenged themselves, took on something new, something different, something special to put them in a new view from the viewers. Now people will respect them in a different way because they'll get to see how magnificent this company is and how amazing they are with their ability to create. You know, we'll see if I can get permission to stream the game early. I doubt it at the moment, but Thursday night I'll be on and we'll be able to play all night long on Thursday. I'm probably gonna do a 12-hour stream on Thursday playing this game, and then the whole weekend I'll also be streaming it, pretty much trying to reach 30 hours going in from Thursday all the way to Sunday playing this story. And I'm sure I'll get close to the end, and probably Monday I'll finish it off, but I'm gonna give my heart and soul for the weekend. I'm prepping my body right now. I gotta work out a little bit, I gotta eat good, and you know, buy some snacks, prep for the weekend so you guys can hang out with me and play through this experience together. So it should be fun, should be interesting. Once again, if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, opinions, it's all taken here. It's okay to not be interested in this game if you're not into samurais, you're not into open world games, you want to play shooters, or you want to play, you know, platformers, side scrollers, or any type of games. Nobody's judging you. This isn't me trying to force this down your throat. This is not a sponsor stream. This is me giving my admiration to Sucker Punch for creating something inspirational. As a samurai fan, somebody who practices martial arts, I'm always humbled by martial arts and some of these experts who truly humble me, that are just incredible human beings, and they're so um, effortless when it comes to their techniques. And as a samurai fan, you know, you're gonna see a lot of different techniques and some danger, some real serious ones, but fun overall gameplay with a good world and universe to get into, to experience together as we play. And I would encourage anyone who is going to come to my stream, if you have the game, to start off with me, and we can both feed off each other, learning different techniques, learning different play styles, finding hidden collectibles, and upgrading things, and what are the best methods to approach, what are the best methods to upgrade, and all of these aspects. We're going to share that together this weekend. And I'm going to give hours and hours. I'm going to be up 12-hour days. You're going to go to bed and I'm going to still be up playing this game. That's what I'm planning. Hopefully I can do a 24-hour day. I'm sure that I'll take a 3-hour nap and get back up and continue to experience the story. For me, the story part is a movie that I'm watching. It's a long TV series movie, but it's an incredible movie, incredible time, and I'm truly inspired and honored to continue to do what I do and love, which is stream, create content, engage with audiences, and go forward. And PlayStation has been so ridiculously amazing. Honestly, it's an emotional time for me as a gamer when it comes to PlayStation 4. I've said it's the greatest console of all time, and they're closing out. They're literally closing out with one of my favorite genres as far as samurai games, and it's ridiculous because I honestly been saying Sucker Punch has been an underrated, underappreciated studio who put out infamous games, which are all fun and amazing, and slide games, who are another good fun experience. So I don't know, the finale of the PlayStation 4 exclusives, I think this is the last one, or the last big one. There's more probably at the end of the year. Can't think off the top of my head, but it's one of the biggest finales that I've ever seen before a new console comes out in the holidays. So I'm guessing by the 24th of this month, we'll find out the pre-order release date for PlayStation 5, and then we'll get that on November, I'm guessing. And we'll have a PlayStation 5, and we can play this game again on the PlayStation 5. That is the game plan. So replay this once the PlayStation 5 releases with 4K or 8K. Who knows what type of craziness we could do with the PlayStation 5. Well, we know already, but we'll see what we do. So that is the core essence, and that's the experience, and that's what I want to talk about, and just give you guys a thank you for tuning in and rocking with us for this stream so far, with all of the coverage of the reviews, from the review scores. The game is sitting at an 84 comfortably, with over 60 plus, well, actually 70 plus people giving it an 84 or higher, and only a small, about 9 people giving it a 60 out of 100, which is a little bit odd. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. It's weird. So, but we'll find out on our own what the true concepts are going to be when it comes to the full experience, and what we got on Thursday once we start playing through, live streaming it for everybody. Once I get the, hopefully, you know, somehow Sucker Punch can send me a copy early, and they say, go for it, man, stream on Thursday morning, which would be better than Thursday night. And I'll gladly stream on Thursday morning. We'll talk about the game and break things down and see the good and bads. I never think any game's perfect, but I also don't slander games because I don't like one simple thing, you know. I kind of go off of the full experience and what I could expect from the style of game it is. If I'm playing a Mario game, my expectations is Mario playstyle. I'm jumping on a shooter, you know, you got to go off that. So this samurai game, the fact that it's grounded on real life and it's not some mystical game, it's actually makes it a little more special for me. Let's rewind this. Makes it a little more special for me. So I'm excited, and the visuals are just ridiculous. Like, it's gonna be interesting how I perceive this in the future and how we do it. How we do, baby. But anyway, so that's what I got to tell y'all. I hope y'all appreciate my open nature here discussing this game overall, and hoping you're just as excited as me. We look to explore this game, look to get lost in its universe, and together we'll have ourselves a good time, man. A good time. Yes, sir. So as you can see here, Sony games are just incredible. Look at down the list. Let's take a second here. All right, I'm gonna edit this files. Just gonna do something. What games do you think were the best? I'm gonna kind of like not rate them, but put them all in a nice little bunch for the PlayStation 4, just to show you how incredible the PlayStation 4 has been. I love this game. Let's just go there. All right, so this is what we got. All right, let's just go. Ghost of Tsushima, Dreams, Death Stranding, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, The Last of Us 2, Sekiro, Days Gone, Marvel's Spider-Man, Uncharted 4, Detroit Become Human, and more. But that's just a list of less than 10 games. Well, 10 games there. Much. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yeah. So 10 top games for the exclusives. All right. You can take out that they're the exclusives for the Death Stranding, because now they're on PC. So is Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PC. But overall, it's pretty much exclusives. So you look at that, and you gotta respect. Gotta respect it, big time. Sony's incredible. So, anyway, that's what the deal is, man. That's where we're at, guys. Pure greatness from Sony. Hopefully, this game is my game of the year. My expectations is that it is, just because I love samurai games. But Last of Us was great. Dreams was great this year. They have a lot of good games that release, and there's still more. We'll see as we play them all. Any last thoughts or comments, feel free to contact me. We will be doing our show, which is called The Art of Gaming. And basically, it is a deep dive into game design and player experiences. So, a mixture of developer concepts, themes, and development versus what the player experiences in that. So, for example, the aesthetics of everything in the world being live. So, watch the floor, a lot of the floor moves, foliage, you see the leaves and everything in the game, just like this dynamic theme. Everything in the game is a little bit alive. And why that's important is because the player kind of feels immersed in that experience. So that's where we can have a really good time just breaking that down with my show, which is happening this Thursday night. We're going to get into it. So let's get into some more gameplay before I go. Again, the key component here to understand is what I do is explore these games as a player, the player experiences, and what we can enjoy together. So you're going to be able to see somebody's playstyle, but also exploration of different playstyles and how you can enjoy this game, whether it's some stealth mechanics or the samurai style of combat, fighting throughout this universe and exploring the universe and the variety of ways to go about it. is what we offer with the live streams for the Art of Gaming, which is my show about video games. And this game right here is gonna have a lot of interesting, intricate parts, from the samurai aspect to the stealth mechanics, everything in between. I'm actually, you know what's crazy? I'm very excited for the exploration of this game. All this combat stuff is going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. I know it. But exploration, I feel like it's going to be something unique and special. And there's going to be moments I really treasure. Just kind of enjoy. Play games to decompress from the real world. And I'm going to get lost in this one. Lost in the sauce, baby. As you can see, the combat's incredible. We want to focus on this because there's a variety here of playstyles. The different stances are key. The different abilities, as you can see here, you're going to be able to parry and create openings and do different things. Depending on your stance, it's how you'll be able to combat some of these guys. The shield guys are harder to kill. We've seen them killed easily with water. Water is a one-handed holding. This one right here, I believe, is stone. From what we saw, there's multiple stances: wind, water, and stone. So pretty much all the earths. I'm sure there's more than that, but those are three that we've seen for sure. So we'll see. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I feel really good about a lot of this combat, a lot of this aspects. As you can see there, the stealth mechanics and a lot of enemies to fight off. Sometimes you have to go stealthy, sometimes you have to go aggressive, and just full on blazing. Hello to everybody in the chat. I hope you appreciate it. Everything I'm trying to offer as far as visuals and talking about the game and everything you can expect from it. Giving y'all 2 hours worth of me discussing this and breaking things down. And we looked at some of the reviewers. And one of the main things, it was about 9 out of 70 plus reviewers. Out of the 70 reviewers, 9 of them said bad things about the game. And the bad things were that it compared it to Assassin's Creed. Said it's too much of a samurai cliche story. And then also that the world is too much like Assassin's Creed. The Assassin's Creed one, I don't feel it's like a diss. It's more of a compliment because Assassin's Creed is one of the greatest open world designers. But as far as the story being cliche because it's samurai, I mean, it is a samurai game. And they're not trying to give you a fantastical fly through the sky or fight these giant creatures type of game. So I don't know how people would feel coming from the outside looking in saying, oh, wait a minute, this is too realistic. It's like samurai focused fighting and realistic story. If you don't like that, I get it, but that's what this game's about. So you should know what you're getting yourself into. So that's what I got to say when it comes to the criticism. And this is not defending the game. I'm sure that they might have some silly story, maybe. Who knows? Maybe they'll have some Assassin's Creed homage in the game. And that's why people are saying that. Who knows, right? Somebody asked about what it is. Yes, I have this game on my PlayStation 4 right now. Sitting pretty, waiting for Thursday night when I can stream it. As you can see right here, this is my PlayStation account, and this is my file for PlayStation 4 games. So, yay. No, but anyway, back to the clips and the talk. So there's a lot to get into on good things, a lot of great things. And again, you're getting a samurai story, you're getting a samurai game. Oh, the game is gonna be releasing in 2 days, guys. So it's literally the 14th. You have 2 days to sleep. I'm gonna try to sleep all Thursday until the moment I'm able to stream this game. I don't know if that's possible. I have a weird sleeping habit, but if I can sleep all Thursday and then just wake up to play this game, perfect timing. We'll do a 12-hour stream on Thursday. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging. If you got any questions, now's the time. I'm about to close this bad boy out. Again, big props and respect to Sucker Punch for being able to sucker punch the industry with possibly the game of the year. How long is this story? It's about 30 to 50 hours to be exact. So now it depends on how you play. So if you want to explore open worlds, you'll be around there for a long time, maybe 50 hours. But if you push through just the story, it'll be 30. And for me, that is a good amount of time. Play open world games to be able to stay lost in them. I know there was like this narrative on Twitter where somebody was like, open world games are too long. I disagree. If I wanted to play a linear game or something, I'll play a side scroller or a platformer that's short or one of those small 2-hour indie games. But when I buy an open world game, I'm looking to spend hundreds of hours, not 20 hours or 30 hours. I want to spend hundreds of hours. And if a game is good enough to keep me for hundreds of hours, then it's got my money's worth, you know? Pay $60 for a game, sooner or later you're going to pay $70 for a game. You want to be able to enjoy it. I think that 30 to 50 hours is a good range. I'll take higher, but I'm selfish, you know what I mean? But the thing with Sucker Punch is that they don't make open world games filled with nothing. If you played Infamous, it's an open world game, but it has a lot of fun, different mechanics in it, and it's pretty good balance. So I believe that this game will have the same feature where there's a lot to do, a lot of different elements. Get into it and you'll enjoy it drastically. In my opinion. Yeah, The Last of Us 2 was a good game. It's complicated, right? Because the story is so powerful. They took chances and they took risks, and I respect them for it. To be honest, they did something that not a lot of people would dare to do, and this game right here is not like The Last of Us. It's a whole new IP, so they can do anything. But they're staying true to Samurai, keeping it realistic, and making it a fun experience. For sure, I agree with people talking about The Last of Us on the chat. So anyway, what else do we got, guys? What else do we got? Should I show some footage before I go? Let me see. No, we might just do state of play, man. All right, let's do state of play, guys. I'm gonna take a quick break, just for a second. I want to give you guys some footage here. I need to get something to drink. I'll be right back. Watch some of this cool developer commentary.
Hello everyone, I'm Jason Connell from Sucker Punch Productions. We have a lot to show you today about Ghost of Tsushima. Combat, customization, special modes. But first, let's take a look at how you explore the world of Tsushima. exploration has been at the heart of our open world design since the very beginning. But you can't have exploration if you don't have curiosity. So we've continually asked ourselves, how can we let the island guide you in the most thematic and immersive ways possible?
Yeah, we don't need that, right? We don't need that. We don't need that commentary, guys. I know what y'all want. I know what you want. This is what you want right here. Gameplay. All right, so we did our job, man. We did our job today. Side missions. So this is one thing about this that I've been hearing a lot about is side missions are meaningful because they add a lot of upgrading to you as a player, but then they have story aspects tied into it for the overall. You can help a lot of people. You can consistently help the same person to also get bonus rewards. Collecting these items and doing things like that are going to be vital also for upgrading. So a little bit of everything. So yes, I think I'm going to end the stream, guys. We had a good time. We did our thing. Everybody that's on the mobile, all you couple hundred people, I appreciate you. Those on Facebook, I appreciate you big time. A couple people on Twitch, a couple people on YouTube, a couple people on different platforms that are still here enjoying this. I appreciate y'all, man. It's been a good ride, right? We did our thing, man. We did our thing. We just wanted to cover some of the core essence of this game experience. And then kick back and relax. And hope everybody enjoyed it. If you got any last questions, now's the time, man. We got into it. I really do hope it was helpful, like you're saying. If there's anything you still curious about, feel free to ask me now. You can hit me up on Twitter, MadGamerINC. You could chill and talk there. We can play this together this weekend. I'm going to be giving out all my tips and tricks all stream long, breaking the game down, the science behind it, the science behind swords play. When I was younger, I was into samurai stuff and I used to fight a lot. And then I met this dude who was a master in many different art forms, and he was a teacher actually, and he kicked my ass because this is, I don't know why I'm sharing the story, but he basically kicked my ass. So he was teaching a class. I went to go meet a girl there. I'm about 13 years old. When I say I was a badass, I don't mean it in a good way, folks. I mean, like, I had a bad mouth. I would curse a lot. Every sentence had a curse in it. Secondly, I like to fight. Just for no reason, I would pick a fight. It was a thing about, maybe I was an insecure kid or something. Somebody would look at me funny. You know, I had to prove I was a tough guy. Maybe it's because I'm short, the short complex. I don't want to get into the psychological part, but the point is I was an idiot. And I used to fight a lot. I went to pick up this girl. She was at his class. And they had them doing some type of little practice. And I made fun of them. And then the teacher, you know, started like provoking me to be a part of it. And I'm like, hell no, man. I started cursing and going crazy. He's like, you don't have no respect. I'm like, I don't got no respect. And I was like, I'll beat everybody up in here. So then some kid tried to act tough, and I kind of just dropped him to the floor. I didn't hit him. I just grabbed him and threw him down. And the teacher's like, what are you doing? He grabbed me. And at this time, I could fight grown men. I fought grown men. But the way he grabbed me with one hand and did this little spin move to toss me upside down on my head. And it wasn't like a hard throw. He wasn't trying to hurt me, but he just disabled me from continuing being a bully. It was incredible. And from that moment, I became a student of martial arts. I hated that guy, but I still went and did a little bit of lessons with him. And I would try to fist fight him every day. Like, I had a weird bravery to me where I literally would try to fist fight this grown man that I know can kick my butt. But I wanted to learn so bad that I purposely provoked him and would jump him from behind, kick him in the knee, and just do stupid things to try to fight with him. And I learned a lot from his discipline of not beating this poor little boy up, which I should have got my butt kicked by him, but instead training me on how to be reactive, watching him react to my actions and trying to sneak up on him and stealth punch him. You know, we're in the middle of a class and I'll just do crazy things like attack him from behind while he's teaching someone else. And it was just insanity. I don't like talking about it. It's a little embarrassing. But the reason I bring this story up is because martial arts is so humbling. You know, I became a humble kid a little bit. I was very unhumble, I'll be honest. And it humbled me to start to not be as reckless as I was and have a little more discipline in my actions rather than being a madman. So when I see these samurais and Jin here, who's taught in a samurai way and having to fight these guys, it kind of reminds me of my past in a way. Kind of dissects into who I am as a person and how I grew from this ignorant wild man, just like these invaders. And I grew into someone with integrity, with respect and appreciation for everything, you know. I think the samurai have that same code, and I really respect it. That's why I'm into this game. A part of it reminded me of my wild carelessness turning into a samurai style of a human being, being more honorable. And even video games, for example, I get a lot of early games sometimes, and I don't even talk to them to my family. My friends who I care about so much, they ask me, and I don't even bother spoiling a game or doing anything because I appreciate the hard work it takes for it, and people's careers are on the line, and not my career, just other people's careers. So if you're leaking stuff and you're doing stuff, you know, a manager or somebody can get fired. So I always have a code with me, and you don't see me do clickbait videos where I'm like, you know, brand new footage, and it's not really brand new footage, and it's like old recycled footage. I try to keep it authentic in that regard and have honor behind me, just like a samurai does. And you know, all of these big studios, no offense IGN, but they'll have clickbait, and they're the biggest studios, the biggest review companies in the world, and they have clickbait material. That's what keeps them on top, of course, but I just rather live with honor than to live in that way. So this game to me has a representation of me as a human, but the struggle that I go through, just like Jen is going through, where he's facing against devastating odds and these people don't care. They have explosions, they have guns, and Jen is here as a samurai having to fight them. But that's why the story tells a story about him becoming a ghost. It tells a story about him becoming a ninja, which is against the samurai code, but he has to do what he has to do to fight back. And this is where I could appreciate this game, because we are living in a society that pushes us and push and pulls us and turns us and wants to corrupt us. And it's up to us to not allow society to do so. We got to keep being better people for the world, for ourselves, for our family, for everything and everyone. And what is your legend is the question. So those are the type of things that I'm interested in when it comes to story. Reflecting back into what type of man I am, what type of soldier I'm going to be. Not in the game, but in real life. And vice versa. So, it's just interesting stuff. That's a little bit deeper and nothing to do with what the game is. But that's my little input for my personal take. I think we did a lot of time, guys. It's 2 hours and a half of just nonstop gameplay clips that you guys seen. More than enough to know if you want the game or not. Don't get it because I said so. Get it because you're interested in playing the samurai game. You're interested in these combat system. You're interested in the story of Tsushima, the island. You're interested in the fantasy of Jin's story and how he becomes who he's gonna be as a samurai and a ghost. Everything that he's doing as a ninja and a samurai fighting style and all this cool combat, all of these cool exploration, the universe's visuals. Is this something you're interested in? Are you going to be willing to play this or you don't want to? It's perfectly fine with me. This isn't a sponsored stream. This is a passion stream just for the viewers and for the love of everybody that's enjoyed this with me. We out here, man. Let's see you on Thursday. I am going to do another breakdown on Thursday night before we play. And then we'll get into the play and hopefully everybody plays it with me and we'll just talk while we play. Hopefully we got one of our homies, Pouty Chip, who can play this the same day. I don't know if he's going to be able to, but the same day and we'll jump on a little chat with him and talk about the game so far. Little things like that could be cool. I'll probably be halfway done by the time he starts. We'll see. I'm obsessive with games. But yeah, so once again, I love you guys. You guys are the greatest. Truly are. I appreciate you. Know that. I'm going to see y'all really soon. I'm going to stream again today in a little while. I'm going to play something else. Probably, who knows? Anything. We'll see what I'll play. Might probably play Sekiro. I might play Rainbow Six or Ubisoft games like Ghost Recon or Division. I don't know what I'm feeling. I just don't know. But we'll see each other soon, right? Peace and love. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope y'all enjoyed this as much as I did. Had a good time checking it out. Y'all be easy. Take care. Peace and love.